So it's another year and another what's on my home screen video. So in 2020, the year 2020 and the first quarter, I have nothing, as you can see, on my home screen. I only have a wallpaper, and by the way, this wallpaper is available to download and install on your phone too if you want. You'll find a link to that wallpaper down below in the description text. And the wallpaper is from Star Trek Discovery. I think it's neat. So download that if you want. But my home screen is empty and I don't have any more pages, as you can see down below. So this is the only page I have. And instead of icons for apps, I have 4 folders at the bottom. And the first folder is called Stress. And I call that folder Stress because here I have all the stuff I need to do and so on. A lot of to-dos and emails and messages and everything that makes me a bit stressful and so on. So this folder is called Stress because of that. So I have specific apps here, as you can see, messages, mail. I also have some working apps here. For example, my note-taking, my blogging app Bear. So Bear I can use for writing everything I want, notes, blog posts and everything. And also I have Apple reminders. As you know, I have switched from every other to-do GTD app, and now I use Apple's own reminders app. So I really love that app. Day One is my journaling app, and I really love Day One. It's awesome to use for journaling. That is an app I can highly recommend, and journaling helps me a lot in my life. I do a lot of journaling and I write down everything I do every day, and it also automatically adds all the places I am automatically to my journal, and also my Instagram post and so on automatically adds to my journal in the Day One app. And also I have some analytics and so on for my blogs and YouTubes and so on, and I check comments and everything. I also have Apple's Notes app because before I bought Bear I used Apple Notes a lot, so I still have some notes there that I haven't imported into Bear. So I need to use the Apple Notes app sometimes. Page 2 is more writing apps and note-taking apps and audio recording apps, and also calendar and mind mapping and so on. So these apps is called in the folder Stress because I have this is something I need to do a lot. That was the first folder called Stress. The second folder on my home screen, my home page on the iPhone XS Max is called Relax. And this folder is called Relax because here I have everything I consume, everything I use to relax and so on. For example, my favorite podcast app called Castro. And Castro is also very, very good for audiobooks, and you can sideload a lot of audiobooks and other audio. You can even sideload the YouTube audio, YouTube videos, but only the audio itself into the Castro podcasting app. So I really love the Castro podcasting app. And I also have my reader, RSS reader here. It's an excellent app. So Reader I use for everything, to news and to read before I blog and so on. I can read everything new about the stuff I am interested in and so on. We can see a bit how Reader looks. As you can see here, I have one called RSS, and that is RSS feeds that I have manually added. And these feeds comes from Google Alerts actually. So I have alerts on specific topics I like to follow. I have a read later, that is everything I want to read later, longer pieces and so on. NewsBlur is the service I use for my RSS feeds to sync them with my other devices. So that's a bit about Reader. And here we have Plex and Infuse for watching my videos. I have a Plex server on my Linux computer. I have a Linux server. I have a Plex server installed on that Linux server. And I use Infuse as a player for Plex mostly. And these is for watching all my movies and TV shows and so on I like to watch. YouTube, of course. We have Reddit to consume some posts there and read comments and so on. Kinda relaxing sometimes. I have IMDb, Internet Movie Database, for see new movies and so on, to see what I want to watch next. And I have my favorite web browser, of course, Safari. We have more here. We have also Firefox web browser, as you can see, and that is because I use that sometimes for specific stuff, like for example my blog comments. I use Firefox because I am logged into Google in Firefox but not in Safari, because I don't want to use Google so much. So Firefox I use for that. And we have NewsBlur, as I said, for my RSS feed. I add all the feeds to NewsBlur so I can read them in Reader. We have some reading apps, and we have some Swedish Play channels that I can stream and so on. We have Pocket, Netflix and so on. We have some podcast app and audiobooks apps here. So that's about it in the Relax folder. It's for consuming media. And next folder is called Support. And in this folder I have everything that I need to help my life and my stuff on my phone and so on. A lot of tools and setting apps and so on. For example, Philips Hue for all my lamps, my light bulbs in the home. I have Termius so I can see my Linux server and so on using a terminal. And I have my VPN, of course, NordVPN. And I have Apple Home for specific automations and so on I have done. I have weather Apple Maps that I use more now. I don't use Google Maps anymore, so I use Apple Maps. Works great here in Sweden. No problem at all with Apple Maps in Sweden. So, and File Browser Go, it's my file manager app of choice. No other app beats this. It's amazing. You can do so much with File Browser Go. Apple's Files app has not even come near as good that File Browser Go is. And we have the phone, of course, the phone app in support. I don't use the phone so much actually on my private iPhone. I never do some calls actually, but sometimes I need to do that 1 or 2 times a year or so. And we have all the settings and App Store and clock and everything else, and Sonos app and Files app and Google Wi-Fi and a lot of other stuff. I need to do some settings and so on. We have some bank apps and money and credit card apps and so on. And we have all the rest that I never use almost. Sometimes I use them, that's why I have them still installed. But these apps I call support and tools. So these are in this folder, support. I use them sometimes, but not so much. The first page here in support is what I use the most, and the second sometimes. So support, I mean, I do a lot about the Philips Hue and so on, and the VPN and so. So this is good to have. The last folder I have on my iPhone XS Max home page, home screen, is photo and video. And this is only one page, and that is for everything I do with photos and videos. Take photos and record videos, of course. I have all my photos in the Photos app, of course, and I still have Google Photos up here because sometimes family and friends and so on share photos to me by using Google Photos. I don't use Google services anymore, but I need to have Google Photos sometimes to have the pictures, the photos they share with me. And LumaFusion, of course, for editing all my videos. I do all my video editing directly on my phone. And over is to do images, logos, thumbnails for my YouTube videos and so on. I have Instagram to upload photos, share photos. I have Pixelmator for some photo editing sometimes. And I have Apple's new Clips app. I haven't used that so much yet, but it's pretty nifty sometimes and cool app to record videos. And I have Pinterest to share other photos to my Pinterest account. So these 4 folders is what I have on my home page, my home screen on my iPhone XS Max. At least now, the first quarter of the year 2020. So that's about it. And again, if you want this wallpaper, you can download it from the link down below in the description text. Go check that out. Okay, bye.